It's bogeyman.
Hey, what's up, man? We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. Happy New Year. It's
heard
2023.
Yeah.
It's the 2023 edition of SEC After Dark. I was trying to whisper tone the once theme music that we used to have. But I am Corey Burton. Joining me is Stephen Willis, Jake Thomas, and inmate number 12468712335 from the Rutherford County Correctional Facility, otherwise known as Jeb Beecham.
Who's a regular
What's up,
guy.
guys?
Mm-hmm.
What up?
Hey, how's it going?
As
Happy New
you,
Year.
as you can see, a very exciting game happened a couple days ago.
Unless you're a fan of college football, besides a Georgia fan, it was boring.
It was boring for me.
TCU could have put up some kind of fight. Come on.
But
That game was a coronation. That game was a coronation.
Yeah,
Probably a good way to put it.
the timeouts for the curtain calls, just a ceremonious ass beating is what it was. But Georgia is 2022 national champions, back-to-back national champions for the first time since Alabama in 2011, 2012. First time in the playoff era that we've had back-to-back national champions. So quite the accomplishment. Stetson Bennett finishes the season a 4,000-yard passer. Brock Bowers let everybody know, if they didn't already, that he's the best player in college football. And Max Duggan folded like a cheap suit.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really fair to Max Duggan because TCU's offensive line absolutely could not block those guys.
They were garbage.
Yeah, they were terrible.
The whole team was terrible. The whole team folded, but I mean, I guess Max Duggan is the leader of it. So, I mean, he made some bad mistakes there too, or feeling pressure that wasn't there sometimes, missing throws, 2 really bad interceptions, things like that. And of course, bad protection, lack of running game. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. All of that factors in to the avalanche that Georgia poured onto TCU. So they started the season with a blowout. They ended the season with a blowout, each of a Power 5 team. So I'll take it.
True. Yeah, it was a exciting first quarter, and then but I'm happy for Georgia. So I know your fans were very happy. I'd have been happy with a blowout too. So
yeah, I mean, hey, any way we can get a back-to-back national championship, I'll take it, man. It's stress-free second half. I was able to. I mean, it was to the point where I was going off the rails just as much as Pat McAfee was in the ESPN2 Pat McAfee Field Pass broadcast. I thought it was good. A lot of people probably didn't. If you're a fan of Pat McAfee, if you enjoy what he does, you probably were. If you don't, you definitely weren't a fan of what he did. But it definitely made it more interesting than just a traditional broadcast when the game got out of hand. That's for sure.
So, with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Basically.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Cooked all this food, had all this beer, wasn't even watching football all the ways into it. But
Yeah, I was
all right.
I was on my feet like I usually am in those type of games.
Yeah.
The Ohio State game, I'm pacing back and forth. I didn't sit down the entire Ohio State game.
I bet.
I was straight chilling on Monday night.
That stadium has a roof, and the crowd was getting wet from the rainstorm because it doesn't have walls.
That is
It's like-
awful.
That's like the most garbage $5 billion ever spent.
Yeah, so you build this dome so you can have all these major events, and
Yeah, and it just doesn't matter. The only people that
still
gets
rains.
wet are the spectators.
yeah, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
Come on, LA. That's the most yeah, that's perfect. That's the most LA thing you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it never rains here, so we'll spend $5 billion. We won't put walls up on this stadium. We'll put a little roof over top so the people can be comfortable in an open air stadium. But it never rains here, and of course, national championship. It's like freaking sideways rain.
Yeah, it's monsoon outside.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
And Sonny Dykes got wet, but it turns out he was just pissing down his leg.
The whole team. The whole team did.
Steve coming through with a Coach 30 reference. I love it.
Yeah.
Moment's too big, pissing down his leg.
It was due though because what he said earlier in the week about the SEC
Oh my
schedule.
goodness!
So yeah,
Yeah, why would you do
Why?
that?
if you play Georgia, okay, note to everybody in college football, if you play Georgia or Alabama, do not give them a reason to feel disrespected.
Right.
And I mean, any chance you had was lost by that little scheduling joke. It's like you played Texas. Well, that's great. They're a 6-6 team or whatever. You know,
congratulations
there. That was so dumb.
Yeah. So like, there's two coaches in this entire country that have that Michael Jordan complex where like they can take anything you say personally and use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby is one of them. And you could tell he was like, all right, we're going to lay it on. Like, he really wanted to keep his starters in.
Oh yeah. And Kirby just a smug, like total frat move. This was a frat guy intramural move with 11 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter to do a curtain call for Stetson Bennett. That was a total frat douchebag move, and it was intentionally, and that was to let Sonny know that you just got owned.
Yeah.
And this could have been a lot worse. I could have put 80 up, but I'm not going to do it.
Yep. I'm gonna give it. Then he did a second curtain call for Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
and Chris Smith. I was like, Jesus. Yeah. It's Kirby.
Somebody put up the schedule for Georgia next year, and they went down and listed all the things. And everybody, I guess they were trying to make the point that Georgia has a weak schedule. It's like, what do you call this? And I was like, best case scenario for Ole Miss, because the next week they go to Knoxville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. That's all. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Get Lane Kiffin late in the season. Well, maybe that's a good thing, but then
same thing like this year.
Yeah. So since we last left you, Joe Milton completely destroyed your joke about him.
Really? He looked pretty good.
No,
made me feel better.
In that game, every pass was 40 yards downfield. They just made it work.
There was just receivers in the way to stop it from going 40 yards.
Yeah, he still threw some 5-yard routes and looked like Nolan Ryan out there. That didn't change.
Who's the squirrel white guy and have all of those indentions on his chest healed from catching passes from Joe Milton?
Yeah,
he's just a freshman too. I felt bad for that kid, but he's fast though. But every time he gets down there, even he falls down trying to catch the ball because he's running so fast to try and catch up to it. It's amazing.
Somebody named Squirrel at a school that is known for a coonskin caps for the mascot. It just works.
Yeah,
it does.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Like Kool-Aid, McKinstry, Squirrel. I mean, it's just these names.
Bumper Pool.
Bumper Pool. I mean, he's gonna make it on the all Squirrel team, on the all name team.
Which, by the way, just to help your joke a little bit. It was Ramel Keaton is the name of the wide receiver who did come out and confirm the stories that have been told, but nobody could confirm that one of the first times he caught a pass from Joe Milton, hit him in the hand so bad it cut his hand. Took like 2 weeks to heal up so he could catch passes again. That's how hard that ball hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe it. Like
it was a 5-yard out.
He was probably just too close to him.
It was a screen pass.
He was within 20 yards.
Yeah, it was a screen pass. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I love to confirm the story. That happened.
In my imagination, I like to confirm Joe Milton in practice is like the Peyton Manning United Way video. That's what it looks like out there.
Nailing the kid in the back. I throw, you catch. It's not that hard.
I throw, you catch. Are you trying to lose?
Get back in the porta potty.
Yeah. Can't even look at you.
Cassidy, welcome to the chat. Cameron was getting wet.
She meant cameras.
Yeah. She meant cameras were getting wet during the game. Yes.
I'm trying to figure out.
I was about to say Cassie's trying to ruin our clean rating.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's explain this one, huh? Cassidy, wave to the crowd. I saw you walk in as a live studio audience. So, this is it was kind of a fun bowl season, man. We didn't get a chance to talk about some of these other bowls, like Florida State getting revenge on Oklahoma for the 2001 Natty.
Yeah, because that Cheez-It Bowl was exactly the same stakes.
Yeah, very much the same stakes. Yeah, exactly. Then you had Florida. Boom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Well, Florida only had like 7 players.
That's true.
They were pulling people. They had open auditions.
Yeah.
It was actually Bishop Gorman out there.
Bishop,
what about
Sycamore Mal out there?
Yeah. What about that last play in Mississippi State's game? I mean, just think about all the people who took that cover and then they blew that last play. That's wild.
Yeah, that is pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
People were just going. People just.
I didn't think about that when they did it, but you're right. That probably did blow a lot of bits.
Oh yeah, big time.
John says, "Did y'all see the replay on the Bowers TD where Dykes was like, wow?"
I didn't see that.
I mean, how could you not say wow? It was the one where he mossed the dude. And they did a cut. They did a cut to Dykes, and he was just like,
"Wow." Georgia went and ordered wings in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worse than Bo Jackson falling asleep on the sideline against Ole Miss in '84.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what? Who are we? Like what is this? We're kicking somebody. We're beating somebody so bad. We're ordering wings.
Wait.
In the national championship.
And yeah, exactly. The national championship, the premier game of college football.
And we're chowing down in the third quarter on wings.
Yeah. And you're ordering a $15 6-piece from SoFi.
Right.
And John, I get what you're saying that they're not the number 2 team in the country, but they beat Michigan. I mean, they got there legitimately. I don't know what you can do about that.
They just it just shows you the difference in the conferences. Honestly,
I've been on this 12-team playoff thing for a long time, and everybody's like, well, the same teams are going to be there. Well, here's the deal. The 4 best teams never make the playoffs because optically you end up like with an Alabama with 2 close losses that don't get in. You end up with a Tennessee that South Carolina. Sorry, Jeb.
Still 2 losses, but yeah. I get it.
Not the same 2 losses.
Yeah.
But good wins.
But the reality in a 12-team playoff, both Tennessee and Alabama is in the playoff, and you have probably the best 4 teams in the country actually competing. Now, the problem for the rest of the country is there's going to be years when 3 SEC teams are in the Final 4.
Yeah.
And
4 teams.
Yeah. Ohio State is who I was, they were the second best team in the country. I mean, they played the best.
Yeah.
But we saw them play the best team and lose, so obviously Georgia deserves it.
By a field goal.
It will,
a bad field goal.
That ending of that game was,
Carson Beck did look comfortable throwing the ball. I feel out when you give him the keys to the full go, like he had no pressure, so like he can sit back there and sling it, no problem. I want to see him down by 4, fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go. You've got to have a drive. I want to see Carson Beck lead the guys down the field. That's going to be kind of what I'm looking at next year with him.
Yeah. Somebody's like, is Georgia going to be able to do it again? It's like, good grief, they have 3 5-stars. Dylan Raiola is about to commit to him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if you want to look, and I am not picking on Jake right now in Alabama at all, what I'm about to say. But it makes you wonder if the early years of the Alabama dynasty, whenever they were good, was more Kirby Smart than Nick Saban. Because this Georgia team looks just like those Alabama teams.
All right. Okay. Let's just say this, though. Alabama has over 100 wins without Kirby Smart, though.
I'm not saying Alabama's – yeah.
Right, but their defense is not as good. I will give it that. Their defense sucks. I've said that 100 times since Pete Golden's been there. His ass needs to go just like Bill O'Brien's. So
Pete Golden's going to Oxford.
Oh, please.
No, I really do think that is happening.
God. You just made my night, Steven.
Yeah, I think that is going to happen. And you know what? That might be a downgrade for you because Saban's probably going to go after Schumer, somebody in that smart tree, because I really think Alabama wants to get back to playing murder ball.
Well, and here's
or they're going to bring back Pruitt, maybe.
Well, here's the other thing, and I understand college football has, reinvented itself offensively, and it's just points. even then, in this new age of college football, Kirby has got it figured out defensively. Well, he's only still giving up 8 to 10 points a game. I mean, overall.
He still protects the hell out of his defense.
Right, exactly. So, he's still got it figured out, even in this new age of offense, geared football. He still has great defenses and just swarming the football. So
you're seeing him slowly opening things up. Slowly getting. I mean, this playoff run has been one of the most wide open I've seen this offense.
What's interesting with Georgia, I was down at the Under Armour game, humble brag.
Lucky.
And I was sitting here talking with somebody from the AJC who was down there to
I'm sorry.
Well, he was down there to cover the people that are going to Georgia, going to the local schools there.
Yeah.
And he said that Georgia was on pace to have a starting defense in 2024 of all top 100 players.
That's just ridiculous.
Sorry, Jeb.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeb.
That's not fair.
Get you a recruiter. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Although we lost one of our best quarterback recruiters to Georgia Tech as the offensive
that.
coordinator. With we talked about Buster.
Yeah.
So that'll be. We'll see how that goes.
Jake, did y'all get rid of Bill O'Brien? I haven't heard.
Well, the NFL hiring cycle is now starting to kick up. So there's rumors. Tennessee Titans, New England Patriots,
oh God, please don't be the Titans.
I've heard the Tennessee Titan rumor. Yeah,
it's going to happen. He's going back to the NFL. So
and his contract realistically don't end until February the 28th. So that's when it ends.
It's expiring, and they're not re-signing him, so he will not be back.
Okay.
It's just whenever he officially leaves.
And I don't know how true this rumor is, but a couple of days ago there was a lot of smoke about our tight ends coach, Joe Cox, potentially being the next offense coordinator. So Saban has said he's a brilliant mind offensively, so we'll see.
I can see him being a co. I don't know if he would be completely turned loose.
That would be an odd choice. That'd be a very odd choice.
Yeah.
Joe Cox is good. I'm sure Israel could tell you everything you want to know about Joe Cox because they were teammates. But that would just seem odd for Alabama.
Right. I think, Cliff Kingsbury, of course, is a name that's popped up.
He's going to the Jets.
Yeah, he's going to the Jets now. And, of course, Garrett Riley. But after that showing on the night.
Garrett Riley. Well,
Wait, Cliff is going as offensive coordinator? Or
yeah.
He's not getting, okay, not head coach.
He's not head coach. No.
Okay, that's all right then.
No.
Oh, then I would keep an eye on see if Lamar Jackson is up with the Jets.
Yeah.
They had to trade. No, he's a free agent, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, fell after dark, baby.
And it don't look like he's going to play this week, so they might lose. So, I mean, we could see the last game under the Ravens with Lamar Jackson.
Have we seen the last of Tua also?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's
should he retire? He's had a ton of. He's had 3 in a calendar year.
Yeah.
3 in less than 4 months.
He's getting dangerously close to Troy Aikmaning himself.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a terrible situation because he's got a lot of talent. I'd like to see what he could do at Miami, but you don't want a guy to kill himself out there.
Right.
Which we can't even really joke about after this last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Glad Damar Hamlin's headed home, though. I'm glad I saw that.
Yeah, he's home now.
And then what about that Packers player the next week? Push one of the Lions training staff over,
Oh, yeah.
That was Quay Walker.
Yeah. What in the world are you doing, dude?
Well, nobody told Quay that he thought he was told the Green Bay Packers was going to go 8-4. And
terrible.
Yeah.
Just everybody talking about disrespect at 8-4, and everybody's like, "What are y'all talking about?"
Yeah.
What is
God. Yeah.
8-4.
8-4.
Yeah. No. So
8-4 in the SEC East. Florida almost went 8-4 in the SEC East.
Right.
Yeah. But speaking of great coaching stories, man, MCDC, dude, with the Lions.
Oh, yeah. I wish they would have made the playoffs, but
Jacksonville Jaguars made the playoffs.
Don't remind me.
Well, I mean,
they overcame a 4-game deficit.
Well, because the Titans lost 7 straight. It was garbage.
Daggum Titans. Oh God! Like, could you have a more predictable offense?
Oh, Jeb.
That's the Riddler.
Yeah.
Hey, we see more of Jake Jerome though.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Hello. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Jake gets 2 cameras now.
Oh, that's right. The buzz and all that got deleted, so so we just have to wait for Jeb to come back because Jeb loses internet the way he loses internet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so MCDC, 1 ass cheek and 3 toes, I will beat your ass speech was apparently extremely motivational for the Lions. They released the 4 teams that could possibly be on Hard Knocks. Speaking of off-season storylines, the New Orleans Saints was one of those teams.
Yeah.
The Washington Commanders, the Bears, and I forget who the 4th one was.
The Bears would probably be pretty good, aren't they? They've got the number 1 pick, so
I want the Lions again.
What are they going to do with that number 1 pick?
Trade it.
I think they're going to trade.
They better either trade it or sprint to the podium and draft Will Anderson.
Yeah, I'm assuming they'll only trade down to 2 or 4, somewhere right in there. Hopefully, maybe still either get him or Jalen Carter.
They should try to Herschel Walker this and just go from 1 and like just slowly trade down to like 16 with like 4 different trades.
Mm-hmm. If you could trade the Dolphins or 2,
and just
the Texans for 2, and then
just rack up a whole bunch
4.
of 2nd and 3rd round picks.
Yeah,
all these future picks.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple ones out of it
because they got that quarterback of the future. They're going to build around Justin Fields, so.
They have you, me, and Steve as the starting wide receivers. So they probably need an upgrade there.
I might be quicker.
Well, you are for sure.
That is true. You're definitely better in the red zone.
Yeah, and I don't have half my balance, and I could probably start for that team.
Yeah, Jake's our deep threat.
Yeah, right. I'm more of I have a body of an offensive lineman. Me and Jeb's got the offensive line. So
I go with center. I can do that.
I definitely cannot play left tackle because I'm short.
Yeah, I'll be a guard.
So
I can pull like a mug.
We got off topic a little bit.
I wonder why, because that national championship was
boring.
Yeah, the show, like we basically did in the same time frame of people talking about other things other than the national championship tonight. 24 minutes in, we're talking about something completely else because it was 24-7 at that point.
Yeah.
We just got to the Bears somehow. Yeah. I don't know.
Steve, tell me about Jalen Rashada then.
Yeah,
okay,
what's going on with that?
Yeah, let's talk about Rashada, and then we'll get into the transfer portal because we got no picks or anything tonight.
Picks.
So,
dang.
Jaden Rashada.
Can we recap our bowls?
No, because I didn't do anything because the housekeepers got here late today, and I'm all behind. So
don't you hate when the maid is late?
Yes, I hate it when the maid is late more than anything. It's like first world problems, right?
Kind of operation you running over there, Steve?
Seriously,
just learn English, I would be happy.
I mean, I had to cane them, you know. Yeah. When you say 8 to 12, do not walk into the door at 11:45 and say, "I'm here."
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, I hate that. Anyway, Jaden Rashada. He was originally committed to Miami, all right? And Jaden Rashada had a shady, let's say agent. Whatever is legal in college sports, he had. Okay?
Everything is legal in college sports.
Yes. So he went behind the scenes and got a deal worked out with the Gator Collectives and Florida Football. And Jaden Rashada went to Florida, and that commitment was there, and he signed with them. Mm-hmm. So let's fast forward it to now, and once they were looking through the actual contract or something like that, there's something in there that gave people some pause. Mm-hmm. and it has to do with that shady agent. So the kid's being punished by outsiders, nothing new in college sports, by outsiders sticking their hands in it.
Of course.
And now they're trying to figure out what they want to do. On3's reported that Rashada has requested a release, and Jaden Rashada's dad's like, what? Yeah, that type thing. And so I don't know if it actually happened. I don't know about the reporting. I don't know anything about that. But this is a potentially weird and messy situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I tried to find out from the Florida guy what the end game was. I don't know how this is going to end. I think he's going to end up at Florida.
Yeah,
and I think it's all going to get smoothed out, but it's going to take a minute.
Huh.
Well, luckily they got Graham Mertz there.
Well,
unless you're a Wisconsin fan,
that. Yeah.
Unless you're a Wisconsin fan and you know who Graham Mertz is. I mean, you know, they could go to Kitna. Oh wait, no.
Yeah. No. He's getting ready for the longest yard part 2.
I don't want to talk about that situation.
Yeah, we're not getting into the weeds on that one.
Yeah.
No. I just wanted to crack a joke about what's his name and move on. Yeah, we don't have to dive into his scenario, but Florida is just there's some weird stuff happening down there. You know, like they had a little bit of recruiting momentum, and then they didn't, and then this Jaden Rashada thing, and then the Graham Mertz transfers in after originally he was going to transfer to Kentucky, and then didn't.
They ended up getting Devin Leary. Which
was a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they got Mertz. Okay.
Upgrade over Will Levis.
Absolutely. Anybody would be an upgrade over him.
Yeah.
Now, Will Levis, let's go back to where does he fit in this NFL draft? Like, what does his pro prospects look like? I mean, everybody's enamored with his big arm, and he's got a little bit of athleticism, but like his decision making,
the rest he can do, because he had no offensive line. He's got plenty of practice doing that. Mm-hmm. He's got a strong arm. He's all tool. All they care about is what you can bring, because they think they can coach Will Levis into a diamond. They think he can be Justin Hebert or Herbert. Sorry, Bobby Hebert is on the brain.
Love it. Yeah, but you end up more with Zach Wilson scenarios than you do Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and that's the way that works. But they think they can do everything. They're they're in the NFL. They always talk about you're reading your own press clippings. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what these NFL coaches do. They think they are the greatest coach that has ever lived because they coach in the NFL. And anybody that comes up, we can fix that. We can make him stronger. He has a strong arm. He's 6'5". He can run a little bit. He's mobile. Oh, I can make him into an all-pro quarterback. Once out of 100 quarterbacks, that actually works. But that one time, that guy gets to sit back, lean back, and say, "Told you so."
Right.
Yeah.
So,
like there's generational guys like Pat Mahomes. Like you knew. You just knew. The first time you saw him play, you're like, "Yeah, yep, that's him. Yep, he's that guy." Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, those guys, you knew. That's him.
Yeah.
Now, I wish Bryce Young was a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I wish it was a little bit more taller.
Sturdy. Oh. I wish it was a baller. I wish it was. So
he ain't got the baller part.
Because Bryce Young is a generational talent. Watching Bryce Young play football is amazing. It's awesome. And I just hope that he's going to go to somebody like the Texans or the Colts and just get battered.
You know, I just feel sorry for Ty Simpson. But because he's going to take the reins and be really good, and because he followed Bryce Young, everybody's going to complain.
Mm-hmm. Because he's not going to be as good, nor should we expect that. Bryce Young is. Yeah,
Ty Simpson's going to. Yeah, Ty Simpson's going to come in and he's going to be an AJ McCarron level guy. I mean, he's got all kinds of tools as well. But the dude you're replacing, I mean, without him, Alabama's 8-5 this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally. Bryce Young put the O in Bill O'Brien's name.
No, he was the only O they had.
Yeah. He loaned the O.
Yeah,
to Bryce. There you go.
Yeah,
because he definitely carried y'all through that Tennessee game.
He let him borrow it. Like watching him play against Kansas State was ridiculous.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I'm sitting there going, God, this is a video game.
Mm-hmm. And props
Kansas
to
State
Alabama.
is not a bad team.
And props to Alabama and their players for playing in that game, and not only that, but playing obviously hard and taking it seriously, unlike a certain team from Oxford, Mississippi.
Because you have pick 1 and pick 2 of the draft, and they need no more film, they need no more help. They're going 1 and 2, and that's the end of it. And what do? Hey, I'm going to play in the Sugar Bowl. There's no national championship to play for. But I don't care because I'm playing with my teammates. They made a statement, and I'm glad they did. Mm-hmm. Because I don't see how you could be their teammate and walk out and feel good about it. So I'm going to opt out. When the number 1 I'm going to opt out because I need to improve my draft stock. Well, the number 1 overall player in the draft is playing in the game, and you're not. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I don't like seeing the opt out people on the sidelines either. I'm like, if you're not going to. Yeah. Like,
no, if you're gone,
man. If you're done, peace.
Right.
Kirby made that mistake one year when they played Texas in the Sugar Bowl. It was a huge distraction. We got Sam Ellinger drafted that game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the we're back game, Bevo almost killed Uga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassidy asked what happened with Ole Miss. Cassidy, Lane Kiffin called the game like a 9-year-old playing Madden is what happened with Ole Miss.
Yeah, that was confusing just watching that for a little while. I didn't know what they were trying to do, but
weird game. It's like
when you watch an Ole Miss game, you can usually tell in the first quarter that Lane Kiffin is attacking a certain area or a certain person, and that's the way he does his offense. Against Texas Tech, that absolutely didn't happen. It was like they didn't have a plan on it.
No.
And it just goes to show. We always talk about people that don't take bowl games seriously. That's always the excuse if you lose a bowl game. I think we may have just seen the first actual bowl game that they didn't take seriously. Like literally.
They almost treated it like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a spring game.
And Lane just looked uninterested the entire game, it seemed like, too. I don't know.
He didn't care. And Texas Tech, man, they impressed me, too. I mean, they played hard.
And I'll tell you somebody else.
They're a good team.
Somebody else who impressed me, that was LSU. LSU put a drubbing on Purdue.
Yep.
An absolute drubbing.
Well, yeah, Tennessee had a rough time with Purdue last year, but good for LSU. Good game. You're right.
Well, Tennessee was a completely different team last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Tennessee would have gotten drubbed by LSU last year. This year, different story.
Right.
No, we got to beat up on Clemson. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love seeing that.
A lot of orange.
Yeah, I couldn't watch the game, but my eyes squinted because it was just oof.
We proved we're the orange school out there.
Yeah. My hygienist was she was very happy. She was at the game actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And she's a redhead too, so she fits the whole orange scheme there.
Yeah, Lane can be reckless, babe.
Yeah, Lane is unpredictable. Lane is. I saw a side of Lane Kiffin. I'm like, oh boy, if I'm Ole Miss, that's a red flag, Steve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in it now. I mean, you have what you have. You just make the best of it. Now, the thing that Ole Miss is doing this offseason is they're going out and they went and got another tight end. Yeah. So I think you're going to see Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin do a lot of the stuff that you see out of Georgia, that what they do with Brock Bowers and having a true hand-the-ground tight end. Because Caden Priestcorn from Memphis, that's an all-conference guy in the American. And if Michael Trigg can get his head on right, his ceiling's as high as any tight end in this league. And I'm including Brock Bowers on that list, but he has to get his head right because last season it wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, they could really do some 12 personnel stuff if Trigg gets back together, and they can really kind of be having a guy like Brock Bowers, having a guy like Trigg, having a guy like Kyle Pitts, having a guy like Michael Mayer, like some of these dynamic tight ends that can run what Evan Ingram was for Ole Miss, and then having a true tight end like Darnell Washington, being able to go 12 personnel and have a big guy that can run like a wide receiver. You obviously saw what that does.
Yep.
Defense. It just destroys them.
Yeah, I saw Ole Miss picked up a couple good wide receivers too. Of course, so did Georgia in the portal. So
Rah and Dominic Lovett.
Yeah, you're stealing from other SEC teams. That's not right. Come on,
John. What's the deal with the UGA tight end that entered the portal? Well, you know a little bit about him because he spent some time at LSU. He was Eric Gilbert. He's a mess, man. He is a. I hope he finds something, man. I just hope he finds a scenario that'll help him because he is a lost puppy dog out there, man.
He needs to find a Sun Belt team. Honestly,
he does.
He's got the talent to play in the SEC. He needs to be the big man on campus somewhere.
He just needs to. He got buried on the depth chart because he's a head case. He's a smart dude. He made all these academic lists, academic All-Americans or all academic at UGA. He had a lot of academic accolades at Georgia, student of the week and stuff like that. But he's just something that's not screw loose or something. I mean, I'm not there, so I don't know exactly what the issues are, but I know there's a lot of issues because somebody that talented doesn't sit the bench at a place like Georgia. Like if you're good, you're good. You're going to play. So there's got to be something else going on there.
Just like a Ja Hall, he got dismissed from Texas now. So
so it's like
he's uber talented, but he just can't get together.
Texas State for him for whatever reason that's popped in my head.
Probably so.
That would be good. Or stay close to home, go to like Georgia Southern or Georgia State. Even probably Georgia State would be a great fit actually. Stay close to home. I don't know if that'd be a bad thing or not, but he's from Norcross, which is right down the road.
I'm interested to see, like, now that Jamie Chadwell's gone over to the Evil Empire, I'm interested to see what Coastal will do.
Who cares?
I like Coastal.
Done with
I like
Coastal.
the teal field. I like the
Break
whole
it up with
the
Coastal.
Chanticleers. Yeah.
Boy, they look terrible against Eastern Carolina, though.
Yeah.
I'm done. I got to find a new Sun Belt team, which I'm thinking it's gonna be Georgia Southern. But
I think Southern Miss has a chance to be decent.
they will. They will.
Frank Gore rushed for like 329 yards in their bowl game.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nuts.
John, we've
every
all
time-
been hoping for that for years.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Saban
Saban's
ain't going nowhere.
Saban's going to retire when Saban wants to retire. End of story.
The Saban looking at David Pollock on the ESPN broadcast where Pollock said, "Oh, Georgia runs college football now," and he just
Saban looked at him like
straight Emperor Palpatine vibes, looking over at him. It's like, okay, well, that just fueled them for a year or two.
Yeah. That's gonna be on repeat.
Congrats
all
on the
season.
2023 Natty, Jake. Congrats on that, man.
Really.
If we get rid of Pete Golden and Bill O'Brien, maybe.
Who's Bill O'Brien?
Bill Bryan.
Bill Bryan.
Yeah, Bill Bryan. But
He's coming to the Titans.
Corey,
Gotta find that O.
Corey, I do want to ask one thing about the championship game, and I noticed this early on. But what was
I was probably asleep.
Yeah, what was TCU's game plan with just leaving Brock Bowers wide open every single play? I mean, they did not put anybody on him whatsoever at all.
Yeah, that was weird. Like
it was.
I thought Ohio State did a really good job of shutting him down.
They did,
and I thought maybe they would like see that and go, "Okay, we're going to try that." But some of the things with the 3-3-5, like you're susceptible on the seams. There's some obvious holes that Brock Bowers was able to exploit in the 3-3-5 defense. So, I mean, you got guys that they thought could handle them, but that couldn't. Also, like they have some of these athletic like edge guys, like hybrid safety linebacker types that try to guard them, and they can't guard them. Like they realize that you can't guard Brock Bowers unless you have two people.
Right.
You know what I want to know from that game? Who is that little Scottish kid y'all got that suddenly turned into a great player?
Yeah.
Laddie McConkey or something. Whatever his name was.
Yeah.
He's been a player for 2 years, man. That's all he does, man, is catch big touchdowns. He torched Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I tuned out by then.
Yeah, the thing that's going to get lost on that Stetson Bennett performance, the Ladd McConkey, and all of that stuff in the championship game, without Brock Bowers' effort on 4th down against Ohio State, Georgia doesn't win that game.
No. You're talking about the Patrick Mahomes, like, balance on one arm?
Yeah, stay in bounds, just to keep your hand in there so you can cross the line.
That play was ridiculous.
Yeah, that play was amazing and won Georgia the national championship.
Dude is athletic as,
he's amazing.
He is. And we still got another year with his ass.
Oh yeah, I mean it's unfair.
I know. Jeez.
How about Branson Robinson, the freshman running back that broke like 12 tackles to get into the end zone?
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah,
the kid's from Germantown, Mississippi.
Oh,
how'd you let him go, Steve?
It was just as soon as he started recruiting, he was not going to a Mississippi school. He was that kid that no matter what, he was going out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirby obviously saw. When I looked at his film, he looked good, but apparently, when Kirby looked at it, he saw Nick Chubb.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, he ran like Nick Chubb.
Yeah, it was. Jeez. Yeah, that guy was. I mean, he broke 7 tackles. He did some good jump cuts on the second touchdown. I mean, it's just you saw him run. You're like, Jesus. Like we're trying to run out the clock, and he's breaking like 37 tackles. Like we're trying to run the ball, man. Like we're trying to take it easy on you, but you got to tackle, man.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I swear we're not doing this on purpose.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, come on. We're in like, we got all the freshmen in, and we're just ripping the ball down the field, man.
I felt like y'all were just picking on, quit hitting yourself.
Yeah. Have you seen that video of like the 20-year-old playing against youth kids in football and like throwing them down?
Yeah.
There's a caption underneath it that said the 2023 national championship game.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
There's another one where DeMarcus Cousins was like, he did some like youth camp, and he was, it was out of context, but it looks like he's just swatting everybody. He's just swatting all these little kids' shot because he's like 7 feet tall, and these kids are like 3 feet tall, and it's like Stetson Bennett versus TCU.
I mean, yeah, that was like Shaquille O'Neal at LSU when he was playing back in the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it'll be interesting to see moving forward because Georgia does have a legit chance at a three-peat.
Yeah,
schedule sets up nice.
Yeah,
schedule sets up nice. We got weapons. Like we're going to be way more explosive on the outside because you have A.D. Mitchell, Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, then you had Ra and Dominic Lovett. You have Dylan Bell coming back as a sophomore, who's the top freshman receiver. Got a lot of minutes, got a lot of time with A.D. Mitchell being out. That's going to be fun. I have a lot of people coming back on that defense. Bear Alexander being one of them.
My gosh, most of you playmakers on defense are like sophomores anyway, so
yeah, like it's gonna look out.
Let's be a realistic thing. It brought up a question: could Arkansas
You're a
beat
traitor,
TCU?
Mom? You are a traitor. I hope you hear this. I don't give a shit. You are a traitor.
Could Arkansas beat TCU?
No. What would TCU finish with an SEC schedule? Let's say they pulled Georgia and South Carolina from the East.
That'd be a West team. That'd be a West team then.
Yeah, they'd be a West team because they're in Dallas. Let's just put them in place of Texas A&M.
All right, let's go through. Okay. Let's assume they go undefeated non-conference. All right, just assume
they get killed by Bama.
Yeah, probably LSU as well.
They get killed by LSU.
Get killed by Georgia.
Arkansas, if Arkansas played like they did early on in the season, they
had
a
healthy
KJ.
KJ Jefferson and a healthy Bumper Pool and a healthy Jalen Catalon.
Yep.
They win. It's not a blowout, but they win. They beat Auburn.
Ole Miss would beat them.
Oh yeah, Ole Miss would give them a run. Depends on if it was early Ole Miss.
Early or late.
Yeah. And I think
Mississippi State gives them a run, but I don't know if they beat Mississippi. Mississippi State is very kin to Kansas. Damn.
I love it.
Damn. Damn, Cindy, you gonna take that from Jake? Oh,
yeah,
boy.
you're damn right she is.
Jake, you're grounded, bud.
No, I don't live with her no more, so she can't ground me.
Yeah, you're grounded, bud.
Now, honestly, whenever you honestly look at it, I'm thinking because if Georgia was the team they got out of the East with Alabama and LSU, that's an 8-4 team. That's like best case scenario, 8-4 team.
That's what I was going to say. 8-4 sounds like if they have a good season, that's part
of it. But Steve, they drew Texas in Week 10.
Right.
Yeah, well,
come on.
Pretty much the same thing.
While we were playing Austin Peay, they drew Texas.
You know what Kirby should have said? Yeah, it's like in Week 9 we drew Tennessee and you drew whoever, and I would take that. I would take that game over anybody you play.
I would love to see the snooze fest with Tennessee and Iowa State.
Oh my gosh,
there wouldn't be it wouldn't even be close.
No. Like 42-10 at halftime.
Yeah, Iowa State, man, they would kill it. No.
Yeah,
even without Hooker,
yeah.
Now let's flip it over. Let's put Georgia in the Big 12.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Undefeated.
Brock Bowers wins the Heisman.
Yeah, it's undefeated and high anyway. Yeah. I think it's
Is there a close game?
I think it's hurtful.
I don't think there's a close game.
Maybe they get bored and almost lose to Kansas. I don't know.
K-State. It would be K-State.
Kansas State.
Yeah. That would be the one team that could get up and play a game with them.
If they got them at home. Kansas State at home is a different dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, not counting losing to Tulane, but USC lost to Tulane. So Tulane had 2 top 10 wins. How about the Green Wave?
Yeah, beautiful.
And they were down like 17 in that game, and
it was amazing.
And Georgia Tech could not afford Willie Fritz.
And they had 2 4th-down conversions in that last.
Miss has to go to Tulane in the second week of the season this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Steve.
That's gonna be a good game.
Ooh,
yeah,
Steve.
I think we might be Golding in September. Oh, sorry.
I'm glad. Yeah, you said. Yeah, get ready for 155 sets like you did against LSU.
Okay. What is a good defense at Alabama and what is a good defense at Ole Miss are 2 different things.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Pete Golding can be that good defense at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Golding was being compared to Kirby at Alabama.
And
we still have to give you a hard time, though, Steve.
Yeah.
We know that.
We're going to end up with managers with a beard.
Yeah, Pete Golding and hooking up with cheerleaders. Your cheerleaders are about to get a whole new tryout there. But
University had to come out real quick about that when he did that with that cheerleader. So that wasn't him. You sure about that?
Him and Todd Downing go.
We have a ton of managers that look 37.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, now, if Pete Golding does go down there, he's going to have some competition. Lane will have competition now from the sorority girls.
Yeah, he might not like that.
I know.
Lane will be like, all right, I'm gonna take AD Pie, and you go take KD. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, who you got tonight?
Delta, can I help you? All
right, I got Tri Delta. All right, you take Kyo. Let's do it.
It's Ole Miss. You got to go DG, right?
Yeah.
Delta Gamma.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one there. I think that sorority was actually created at Ole Miss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
KD is like the one at Georgia where they're all blonde, they're all kind of snobby at Georgia.
Oh yeah,
in KD. My favorite sorority, the ones I had, like my favorite one was AO Pi. They were all really cool. I like the AO Pies.
I like Pi. I don't know what AO Pi is.
Yeah. Whenever you're in college, the more cool the girl is, the less likely to be a desirable sorority member. For whatever reason.
That is totally fine with me.
Yeah, and you're okay with that.
I have no qualms with that. Now, my wife was a KD at Clemson, which
Clemson.
Yeah, she was a KD at Clemson. So
how'd you snag her?
She's in God's name, image, and likeness.
She is.
Yeah.
Got lucky, Jake.
Yeah, I can tell. John had a good thing over there on the chat. Let's put South Carolina in the Big 12. You know, they won 8 games, 7 in the SEC. So how would they do in the Big 12?
They'd win 9.
I think they win at least 9.
I think K-State
Spencer Rattler already proved that he couldn't win in the Big 12. So maybe they don't.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. South Carolina would beat Oklahoma this year by 4 touchdowns.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I would not want to play South Carolina. Like down the stretch, I'm glad Georgia's already played them because this would be a different ball game.
Yeah, they had them in late in the season. It could have been a closer game. They were still trying to get the kinks figured out.
Embarrassed them. God.
Yeah. Yep.
Stetquavius. It goes to show you that every time he got his tight fade before a game, it was over before it started.
Yeah. You know, with that Georgia team, I don't think it mattered what Stetquavius did.
Nope, it didn't.
Well, again,
Georgia could have lined up
because he didn't have his hair cut.
Corey, you could have played quarterback for Georgia and won a national championship.
Stetson wasn't the reason that Ohio State game was close.
Mm-hmm.
The anger that the defense showed against TCU is the reason that game was close because Kirby was just like elf, like just manna from heaven because he just got to go yell at them for 4 days to get ready for the Horned Frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was. I knew as soon as that game ended with Ohio State, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna win this thing, and then it's gonna. I was kind of being politically correct on Bleav In Georgia Dawgs and going, it'll be a good game, maybe close. In the back of my mind, going, hell no, it won't be. This thing's gonna be they're gonna seal club them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole thing, if anybody watches my other show, is the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, do it. My whole thing is to have a take, be controversial, and have some fun with it. So I'm known as the cocky Ole Miss guy. And people love to come in and tell me how wrong I am whenever if Ole Miss loses. I mean, when Ole Miss loses, my average views are like 3,000 per video. When Ole Miss wins, it's like 2,200. That's how much people want to come tell me I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret for this medium, I think.
Yeah, I guess I was trying to get it. I was trying to be fair. I was trying to not be that guy where everybody's like, oh yeah, of course the Bleav In Georgia Dawgs guy would say it's a blowout. Yeah.
Homer.
It's in the name. If somebody's expecting it to be something else, they're in the wrong place in the Bleav In Georgia Dawgs podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Just a lot on
Dogs by 50.
Yeah.
No, I've been extremely bullish on Georgia on that show. So I just thought I'd go a little conservative after that Ohio State game, but
you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
No.
I should never do that. I should just the new 2023 version of Corey Burton's going to be it's going to be cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The secret is TCU cannot handle the lines. The defensive line could not be handled by the offensive line. They got absolutely just indoctrinated in SEC football by the offensive and defensive lines. And once that happened, it didn't matter about Max Duggan, their hotshot wide receiver, their running back. It didn't matter. Nothing was going to work. And since the offensive line just pushed TCU around, Michigan scored, 50 points against them. I think TCU gave up 110 points in 2 games. something like that. And it's like Alabama in 2011 and the whole season gave up less points than TCU gave up in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, remember how you felt watching that game, and imagine if you were the guy that bet $3 million on TCU to win watching that game.
We're gonna to answer your question. We're gonna record tomorrow. We're gonna start kind of being more. I'm trying to figure out my coaching future here. I'm in a bit of a crossroads, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what's happening. So there might be more content coming out on my end with Bleav In Georgia Dawgs. Whether I produce some solo stuff and then include Israel as much as he can be around, but I kind of want to put out some more stuff on a more regular basis, depending on what my coaching future is like. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
this has been a
pretty awesome show for my podcast career. That's for sure.
Yeah, for our first show of the new year, I mean, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Doing all right.
We're national championship level. Pretty good.
That's our show.
Speaking of national championship level, before we get out of here, we're not gonna dwell on this. The bottom two people, Tennessee and Alabama, one of them might win the national championship in college basketball this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the dude to my left here on the upper left-hand corner might repeat as baseball champions. So
yeah,
we're going to have four national champions, possibly four national champions here. Tennessee's got to win it in some other sport just to say you're a national champion.
Yeah, I've got our baseball analyst. Our basketball team is so bad. I've got our baseball analyst already kicking. We're like a month before the season starts. I was like, hey, let's talk about the second baseman.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me about the shortstops. Who's the
I'm
backup?
going to start talking basketball. Georgia's improved a little bit.
Yeah, Georgia
beat Auburn. Like, what the heck is that? Like, we're in the middle of a college football playoff run. And our basketball team goes out and beats Auburn. I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
What the heck's happened to Kentucky?
What has happened to them?
Yeah,
it's sad that might be our win.
What's going on here?
Calipari may be Texas bound.
Yeah, but the problem with Calipari goes there, apparently that recruiting class that was set up for next year for Kentucky is legit. And if he goes to Texas, all those guys are going to go to Texas too. Yeah. Which I'm okay with that, but it's only for 1 year before they're in the SEC.
Right,
anyway.
they're going to be in the SEC.
Or the NBA. The one and done rule,
those players be.
Yeah. The one and done rule, I think, has destroyed college basketball.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, because I'd love to see Brandon Miller another year. But
analytics have destroyed college basketball. Analytics. Threes and layups. That has destroyed college basketball. Nobody runs a motion offense. You don't see the same level of play that it was 20 years ago. The product on the court is just like fouls, free throws, 3-point shots. You have teams that might go 6 for 37 from three. It's just a bad product to watch. It's not as
and you can't connect. You can't connect with the players because you don't by the time you get to know them, they're gone.
That's the thing. You can't get invested in any of the players.
And the G League now can come in high school and try to recruit you to the G League before you even step foot on college campus.
Yeah. And obviously, I think it should be open to the obvious NBA players, and that's fine. But I really like in baseball where you can either declare out of high school or you have to stay 3 years of college.
Yeah. But you're right, Steve. If we can't invest in the players and it's not fun to watch, it's just I just don't watch college basketball much.
And now they're talking about NCAA tournament going to 90 teams.
Hey, Ole Miss! I for one am excited for Ole Miss to be a 21 seed.
Yeah, and coming in as a 37 seed, the University of Georgia, they're matched up against Iona.
Boat raced. Yeah, getting boat raced by the 15th seed Drake.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
Creighton coming in just wrecking people as a 20 seed. I mean, come on. Yeah. What are we doing here?
They're like Kermit Davis is for it. It's like no joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a tournament appearance. I was a 34 seed.
But you know what? That expansion is going to happen because just like the World Cup going up to 48 teams, it's just the inevitable thing to do.
The World
Is there
Cup's
48 countries?
It's going to be 48 countries when it comes to the
soccer.
U.S. in 2026.
So there's just going to be no qualifying?
You're right.
Well, there's no qualifying for the U.S. this tournament anyway.
Have to build more.
But
hotels.
like all of South America is going to be in it.
More
All of Europe's
hotels.
going to be in it. You know, the 6 countries that compete out of Asia are going to be in it.
Where's it going to be at this year, or whenever it comes to the U.S., Steve?
It's going to be at the Benz. It's going to be at Miami, and those are the 2 Southeast locations. I think there's 2 in Texas, NRG and Cowboy Stadium. I think SoFi's in it.
SoFi, probably Seattle. I think Seattle's one of them.
Yeah, and like New England, Boston, East Rutherford, and Philadelphia. And I think the final or something might end up being in Philadelphia because it's slated to be played on July 4th, 2026.
Wow.
That's 250 years.
Wow. Yeah. And the U.S. may actually win on their soil. Has a legit chance.
But the way it works is 3-team groups instead of 4 that we're used to. So you will play 2 games. 2 out of the top 3 teams move on to a knockout round of 32 teams.
And then you knock it out from 32 on.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you're going to invite El Salvador to the World Cup. But El Salvador is going to get boat raced, and it's going to end up with the same 32 teams that would have been into it in it anyway. It'll just be a knockout competition.
Jeb, John's raking you in the chat over here.
Yeah.
That's all right, John. They'll choke in the tournament, but remember, they are the reigning SEC champions of both basketball and baseball. So they don't choke till then. So it's not going to help LSU much.
Wait, what tournament are you talking about, Jeb?
Well, in both basketball and baseball, they're going to choke. It's what they do. It's okay.
I was just wondering which tournament Tennessee was the champion of baseball. That's all.
SEC.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, no, I said they're the reigning SEC champions.
Yeah.
Both
So the
baseball
one that doesn't count. Okay, gotcha.
That's it. I said they won't choke until the tournament.
I know. I'm messing with you. This is a strange year for me because this is the first year in like 2 or 3 years where there's not an Ole Miss national championship yet, and even this early in the year, I'm not used to it, and I want it. I need it. I mean, what's going to happen?
Get it in my veins.
I think our women's rifle team this year. I think this might be their year.
Nice.
I'll tell you a sport that Georgia's not going to win the national championship in. That's gymnastics.
Oh, Gym Dogs gone down?
Gym Dogs, they're at the bottom of the barrel. They are now the circled win on everybody's schedule.
Which, by the way, if you guys are college baseball fans, watch LSU this year.
They're going to mash.
They have bought this national championship, and they are going to make Tennessee last year look like everybody else.
You talking about pitching wise?
No, I'm talking about everything. Everything. You take the players that they had last year that could mash, they still have them. They're all coming back. They added Tommy Tanks from NC State, who had 25 or 26 home runs last year. And they added pitchers. Like all of their starting rotation were number 1s at their team.
Wow.
Yeah, LSU's going to be nasty. They decided to buy this championship, and they're going to do it.
Well, all righty then.
Unless they play Notre Dame in the Super Regional.
There you go.
Oh, God.
And they get lulled to sleep by those ridiculous men's league softball uniforms that they were wearing.
Yeah.
What the
That
hell
was
that?
embarrassing.
Yeah, how do you lose to a team wearing that shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of clean rating, we just lost it, but
We lost a long time ago.
You find a way. That's what you do.
God, that was embarrassing. Oh my God. Okay. Not that Georgia's anything to write home about in baseball, but holy cow, man.
I think Tennessee, though, has all of their starting pitchers back.
And they've done pretty good with the portal. Tennessee will be good this year. I don't know if they'll be as good as last year, but
they'll be entertaining.
The captain douchebag graduated or went to the Major League Baseball, so
yeah.
At least they might be a little bit more likable, though I doubt it.
No.
You got Vitello. Oh, did I? Did I F-bomb?
Yeah.
Do I F-bomb and not even realize it? What's wrong with me?
Yeah, you did.
I'm surprised it's not the sailor doing that.
When did I F-bomb? What was that F-bomb
Becky's
about?
not here either, so.
Yeah. What did I F-bomb about? I don't even remember. I just do it so casually now. Holy cow. Okay.
Luke Shaw says Ole Miss going to win the national championship.
Be a problem.
Let's do it. Repeat. Georgia just repeated.
baseball.
Well, let's repeat again.
We could have an all SEC final then
Yeah,
if LSU's is all they cut up to be.
Yeah, we just need an SEC team, one of these two teams below, to get a basketball championship, and the SEC has a chance to go all the way through.
Clean
the major
slate.
three sports.
Because South Carolina's going to win it in women's basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're dominating.
I am
really
looking forward to Ole Miss playing South Carolina in basketball this year.
Yeah,
I want to see how. Yeah, in women's basketball, I want to see how good they are, because that Ole Miss's women's team's pretty legit this year.
Right.
They're like 15-2. They held Texas A&M to like 38 points.
That's wild.
So yeah, I'm interested to see what Coach O and them do. I think that's mid-February, because that game will be the benchmark game.
I'm Coach O coaching Ole Miss women's basketball.
Yeah.
Coach Yo, yeah.
Oh, that sounded like you said Coach O. I was like, oh,
It
sweet.
did.
He's coaching basketball. Women's. Oh God, women's basketball. Can you imagine
Somebody in the chat said Corey looks like Kirby's little brother.
Well,
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah. Bagman, where you been?
Must be new.
Yeah.
We just need Corey to wear. Corey needs to wear a visor.
Yeah. Wear a visor one week, Corey.
All right, so you want to see me? You want to see what I look like in a visor? Seriously, go to Coach. Go to Coach Corey Burton on Facebook. I have my professional Coach Corey Burton page on Facebook.
You have a professional Facebook page?
What the?
What's your LinkedIn tag?
I don't even know. I don't get on LinkedIn. I probably should, but I don't. Yeah, no, seriously, go look at it. You'll see. You'll see what I look like.
Hey, John, you know what my favorite part of The Blind Side is? The fact that the person that is actually playing what Hugh Freeze is, Coach Cotton, is not Hugh Freeze, but Hugh Freeze is in the movie as Houston Nutt's assistant coach.
Oh.
So you didn't call the coach Freeze, but then Hugh Freeze is in the movie. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
What? Hey, did you lose a bet or something, Corey? Because there's a profile picture of you here on your main Facebook of you wearing Auburn gear.
Yeah, I did lose a bet. I did lose a bet. Well, one of my best friends is an Auburn fan. He went to Auburn, so yeah, we that was God Almighty. That was back in 2013, I think.
Is that the last time Auburn has beaten Georgia?
Well, that's the last time we made a bet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
The last time we made a bet.
That sounds about right, though.
No, I do not coach DBs. That's like the last thing I would coach is DBs. I'm an offensive guy. I've coached every offensive position, and I've coached linebackers once. But I've coached offensive line 2 separate occasions, tight ends. I've coached running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks. I've coached it all on offense, and coordinated an entire offense for the last 6 seasons. So there you go, Bagman. That's my resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all have won every game since you've been coordinator, right?
Hell to the no.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Won't be long. Somebody be calling. Hey, you're right there in Tennessee. Tennessee Titans need an offense coordinator.
I know. Hey, yeah. Mike Vrabel, if you're listening to this, man.
Yeah, somebody needs to let him know that Bill Bryant does not bring O with him.
No. Of course, we gotta have a quarterback anyway. So I mean,
Bill Bryan will break the record for screen passes.
Yeah, no. He didn't run in Alabama.
Hey, at least the Titans traded A.J. Brown, right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a good move, right?
Just
Thanks,
ruined the
Dave.
last draft for me altogether.
Yeah, no kidding. And
that
every
GM
time
is,
Burt, he gone.
yeah.
But every time Burt's got on the field, he got hurt. When he got back on the field, he got hurt again. I'm like, man,
made of glass, dude.
Yeah.
When your number one receiver is Nick Westbrook-Akina, you're in trouble.
It was an undrafted free agent. Yeah.
Right.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it's not good.
That was rough.
Like, you have a chance to sign Darius Slayton and that be your far and away number one receiver. That's sad.
Yeah.
Because he was a fifth rounder.
Well, that's why our GM got fired. So I love that they
Darius Slayton's
played the
pretty
game
good,
against
don't get me
Philadelphia
wrong,
and then immediately fired him.
Right. Yeah.
Good job, Luke. Luke says A.J. just has the record for the most receiving yards in a season in Philadelphia.
Man, just pile on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
The only place where I cannot root for A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Because I cannot root for Philly.
Yeah, he broke Mike Quick's record. If anybody is a child of the 80s, would remember Mike Quick.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard the name, but I'm not really familiar.
No.
But yeah, I cannot root for Philly. So Jalen Hurts, I like Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm glad he's doing well, but I just can't openly be like, yeah, Jalen, go.
Probably MVP this year, more than likely.
He deserves it.
He's an Oklahoma legend.
He deserves it. Now, as players, as a coach, like Nick Sirianni's kind of a.
I'm almost as old as Steve. No, you're really old then. Good night.
Yeah. Okay. Steve, was that your platoon mate in Lexington and Concord?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lexington and Concord wasn't a platoon. We were just doing maneuvers.
Yeah.
Your militia mate?
Yeah.
So,
John was in my squad at Antietam.
That's good.
Yeah.
Glad you guys survived because not many people did.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm glad y'all survived Battle of Bunker Hill, So.
Was it true? Did they really tell you wait till you see the whites of their eyes? Is that a fact?
Yeah.
That was a War of 1812 reference, by the way. Anyway, let's go ahead and get out of here and let people have their evening back and have 15 minutes early, and we'll start, talking. I guess next Wednesday will be the close of the transfer portal window, so we'll have some stuff to talk about next week.
There's actual regulation on the transfer. Well, it probably
transfer
they say
window
it closes,
closes.
but the NCAA, they're like a dog with no teeth. Like,
this is like the MLS transfer portal. All the transfers. It has a window.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sitting here. Whenever the transfer portal window started, everybody started live streaming and all that. And it's like, what? Have y'all never covered soccer or looked at soccer?
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to the beginning of the window. It's the end of the window.
Right. Most of your big deals happen at the end of the window.
Yeah, because they're getting desperate right now, and everybody's getting into the portal. Like, Heward went in, and Gary Bryant Jr. and a whole bunch of stuff, and they're going to come in this week so they can take a visit real quick and commit, and nobody can hit them for tampering. Because it was like, I only had a week, and I had to rush it. I mean, it's your fault, not mine. And this was in the cards probably for 3 months.
Exactly. Well, on that note, we are SEC After Dark, Georgia. We are the champions again. Looking for a three-peat next year. Alabama, Tennessee, you're up next in basketball. Ole Miss, you're up next in baseball. Good luck beating LSU. We are SEC After Dark. For Steve, Jeb, Jake, I'm Corey. Cassidy, welcome it. And Cassidy, our associate producer in the background there and on the chat. And everybody that joined in on the show, we thank you. We hope you have a great 2023. We hope you enjoy this journey with us as we continue to grow and continue to skyrocket to heights unknown. Good evening. And, of course, go Dogs.
Go Vols.
Toddy.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide, Paul.
Paul. First time, long time, Paul. First time listener, long time caller.